Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Carol and today we are going to do a quick homeschool room tour. This is the same room that I did our homeschool room tour of last year and it looks very different. It's still not 100% finished. We might put desks in here, two separate desks, because I'm going to have, two separate desks. I'm going to have a junior infant and a first classer. So far we've been using the kitchen table inside when she was preschool and he was senior infants. But I do think they need something separate. They're kind of irritating each other, pushing pencils across the table. So either a bigger kitchen table, which might not fit in our kitchen, or some just cheap desks in this room. But for the moment, welcome to the homeschool room tour. So this is where we're going to start, and this is where we usually do our written work, sitting at this table. Usually my daughter is here, I am here in the middle, and my son is either here or over here. It is quite a small table, but as you can see, width-wise, our kitchen isn't very big. So even if we did get a bigger kitchen table, I don't know if it would fit. This is our lovely TV room. So that's the door we just came through. Just a sticker reward chart. A sofa where we sit, have cuddles, do reading. The kids can do their reading and I can do my reading, snuggled up with the kids. So this is the first of the two homeschool cupboards, and they're pretty much identical things from IKEA. There is one over here too. This one has mainly non-homeschool stuff up here, but I do have homeschool stuff down here. It's just a bit of a mess. Some DVDs, laminator. These are our folders. If you saw my language arts, my Good and the Beautiful language arts system, that is how we are doing it. And I also have spare copies and stuff here, envelopes, a lot of stationery there, and stuff that I have yet to file from the Good and the Beautiful has just fallen out. So let's procrastinate and close the doors. Okay. Over here, we have our globe at the top, which I was waiting a long time for, and I'm really happy that we got it. We have our solar system. That was a great model to have as we are doing space this year. All of these have pens or pencils in them, so this will be the pen one. And then some of those are hunters. Then this one just has pencils. So that's all of that kind of storage. These are read alouds. These are read alouds that at different age ranges, kind of maybe junior infants to third class, my children should be able to get a grip of. So we did have a lot more, but we culled it down. We looked at the content, we looked at repetition, and we chose just a few. These are also Bob books. I wasn't super impressed with Bob books, but I'm going to give them another try. They had been recommended by other YouTubers. Anyway, it'll be fine. This is what it usually looks like. So, a little bit messy. I usually clean it once a week, but I think this is real life. So this isn't too bad. That is what it usually looks like. That is what it usually looks like. That is what it usually looks like. Usually I just clear off this every week, and sometimes, so basically this should be here, and that's as difficult as it gets. So this is my daughter's box. This is my son's box. And then, especially at the moment during summer school, I'll take one or two items out, bring them to the table, or we'll just sit down and we will do our homeschool on the sofa. These are the books that I am doing this year. We also have a Bible and an action Bible, which we have been reading, so they are not on our bookshelf because we have not put them back because we're super organized like that. As you can tell, not. Okay, this Friday opens. Okay, so as you can tell, there's a little bit organized and a little bit not organized. This top one is things that I'm not using but could potentially use. So these are crosswords, puzzles, things like that. That if they need something extra to do, that I will just use one of these, to take one of these and put them in their box up here. And when they have finished their actual lesson, now this is not in summer school, but in actual homeschool, when they finish their lesson, they will then do the crossword or the activity until I come back to them. These are magnets that I bought them 2 years ago, but we'll probably only start using them next year because they are quite difficult words actually. So my first classer will use them. Letters from the Good and the Beautiful. These are books that we have either read or we don't plan to read necessarily this year, but they are good books that we like, and I don't want to keep them on our general library because I don't want them either going missing. I want to be able to find them when I want them. Then a mix of lots of stuff. These are maths manipulatives from the Good and the Beautiful and a dictionary. I didn't really use the manipulatives. I probably wouldn't get the manipulatives again. We used them a little bit and then stopped. Some bits and pieces here that I don't always use, but I know where they are. And then some albums here. So this TV unit is where the bulk of the extra stuff goes. Honestly, this is what we use every day. This shelf is what we use every day, along with pens and pencils. These are every so often puzzles and games. The same with the readers. It wouldn't use those readers every day because the Good and the Beautiful does come with a reader. And then the folders that I showed you down there, I would use, I would fill them probably once a week. So they are not used super often. Then the things in these boxes wouldn't be used super often either. So they would be things like Play-Doh to keep my kids amused when we are doing read-alouds, or if we're talking about something and I want to use a visual. Nope. Then this is my busy box that we are working on. Whoops, there should not be paint in there. There's a lot of educational games in here, letter recognition, pegboards, things like that. So that's a good one that the little ones, my soon-to-be junior infant, uses that a lot. The other thing that we use with her quite a lot is, I didn't show it to you upstairs, or up here. Behind this maths cube is a alphabet cube, and there's just lots of questions about letters and such. Then we have more books down here. These were my junior infant books 2 years ago, and I kept them separately because I like to pick out of them. Some of these Dr. Seuss books I can actually put back on my reader shelf, and probably because I know that they're age appropriate for junior infant, I can pick out of these a little bit easier for next year for supplemental reading rather than anything from here. So I do have a system. It's a little bit higgledy-piggledy. It's a little bit all over the place. But that is my system. So as you can see, it is kind of a little bit of a mismatch. We don't have a huge amount of homeschool stuff. We do, this is part of our, as you can tell, messy living room. So this is a real used space. We don't have a separate area or total room for homeschooling. So as I was saying, we don't have a separate room for homeschooling. I think I probably would like something like that, especially as the kids get older. But for the moment, this will do. I think that's why I'm also unsure about putting in little desks here, because I don't want it to feel less homely. This is our house. This is our home. We have quite a few people over. Well, not right now, the way the state of the house is, but we do entertain quite a number of times during the week, and we need to make sure that our house is suitable for living in with a large family, homeschooling, and also entertaining. At the moment, I think it's pretty much exactly how I want it, so I don't want to ruin it by putting it in desks and making it seem a little bit out of place. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but for the moment, this is our homeschool room in all its beautiful messed up glory. I am not a super clean freak, as I said in one of my clean like a YouTuber videos. I do not clean very super often. I do put away, but with 4 kids, you're putting away, and then right behind you there's a hurricane. And so even though we have cleaned this room already twice today, and I've hoovered, it still looks the way it looks. And so unless I was to put the kids to bed, clean up everything perfectly, and then do a video, it would be kind of unnatural, because this is what my homeschool space looks like most of the time. It can very easily be cleaned up, but then also because I have kids, it also is very quick to get messed up too. And I think that's life. Like I said, this is a usable space. It is a used space, and this is our family home. So I hope it gave you some sort of idea as to what a regular homeschooling room looks like in our